This entire ad isn't real. No cameras, no studio, no expensive shoot. Today, I'm going to show you how you can create professional grade adverts using only AI tools. I'm Ash, and here at VEED, we build the tools behind some of the most watched social videos on the internet. We even build our own cutting edge models. In this video, I'm going to talk you through exactly how I made this ad, from developing my initial ideas, how I used AI to create reference images that I could then later bring to life, and how I packaged it all together within VEED to give it that final polish. Right, let's get into it. At the start, all I knew is that I wanted to make an ad that shows off what Veo 3.1 can do. It's Google's latest model, and not only does it look visually stunning, it also produces audio for your clips, which is just super versatile. You might already have ideas and mood boards relating to your project or your brand, or you might have seen videos on social media that have inspired you. Those are all great starting points. For me, I started with some work that our marketing team did for a webinar we hosted. I love the cloudy aesthetic of the visuals, the photorealism, the pastel color scheme, and it instantly reminded me of the kind of visuals you might see for a fashion or a perfume brand. Now, I didn't want to straight out copy the design, so instead I thought maybe we could give it a more nighttime feel with more purple and blue hues and glowing stars and a crescent moon hanging down. Now, with AI, I don't have to have the stars hanging down. They could just be magically floating in space or flying around. But one of my biggest pieces of advice is that AI content looks best when it's rooted in realism. I don't want this to look like AI. I want this to look like it was filmed in a real studio. And having the stars and the moon hanging down by string makes it look like it was filmed in a real physical space. Next, we need to think about the story that we want to tell. Now, settling with a perfume ad made that a lot easier for me, because most of the time, perfume ads don't really have a plot. It's more about evoking a feeling and a desirable aesthetic. I personally love the idea of having a model sitting on the moon before descending down, almost like an angel from the heavens. She then elegantly walks over to one of the hanging stars, holds it in her hands, and it magically transforms into the perfume bottle. So we have our overall concept, but now we need to think about how this will look shot for shot. Now, for many, this is where creating a rough storyboard is helpful. Now, I'm lucky because this part comes quite naturally to me, because I often find I think in camera angles, so mine is normally pretty bare bones. In fact, I'll just open up a notes app and outline each shot. So for example, I'll start with a wide angle establishing shot, and it will say our model sits on a hanging crescent moon in a cloudy dreamlike set with hanging stars. The second shot is a close-up of her face, establishing the identity of the model, and so on. Now, don't stress if this sounds quite daunting, because models like ChatGPT can be super helpful here. You can ask it to create a storyboard for you with various different camera angles. Just make sure to give it a detailed description, including things like the overall video concept, the narrative arc, visual elements, and the video length. The results are surprisingly good, but remember, you're the director here, so feel free to adjust things and add your own personal flair. You're also not fixed to this. Later down the line during the editing process, if you want to mix things up and add new shots in, you're free to do that. Next, as I need a model for my ad, I want to either find or create an image of the person that I'd like to feature in my ad. This is super important, because if I just keep generating images through text prompts, that person is going to look different every time. However, being able to provide the video model with a constant reference image means that we'll have a consistent character shot for shot. For this example, I scrolled through Pinterest for inspiration before stumbling across this image, which seems to be AI generated itself. Now, I would advise that you avoid just straight up using a real person, especially for a commercial project, but here's a couple of ways you can use AI to create something new. Option 1 is to find a real image that you like, put it in ChatGPT, and tell the model to create a variety of image prompts based on the picture. Then use those prompts to generate new images in Nano Banana. Another option is to upload multiple images that you like straight into Nano Banana, and then you can tell it to create a new image using the ones that you've attached as inspiration. Remember that you can always ask for 3 or 4 different variations. Great, with that we've got our video concept, our storyboard, and the subject of our video. Now it's time to start creating all of the images that will be the basis for our ad. For this, we're going to be using Nano Banana. Now, for clarity, you can generate images with Nano Banana straight in VEED, which we'll be using later, but right now it doesn't have the ability to attach images alongside your text prompt, and I'll need to make sure that my model is consistent when we're generating these images. So instead, I'm going to be creating the images directly in Nano Banana, but I have been told this is set to be added to VEED very soon. Right, so I'm in Nano Banana, and I'm going to be making the first image from my storyboard, which is a wide establishing shot. I've picked it not just because it's the first on the list, but because a wide angle shot is naturally going to contain a lot of the detail of the scene, and that means I can likely use this wide shot as a reference for future images too. I'll attach the reference image of my model that I would like to appear in the scene, and then it's a case of writing a text prompt. For the text prompt, I'm simply going to describe exactly what I want in the picture. Now, generally, when it comes to generating images, I personally find that being incredibly detailed gets the best results, which makes sense. I mean, if you take this random picture I took on the street, just think of how many details there actually are. You know, the time of day, the weather, the direction of the lighting, how many people are in shot, how are they positioned, what are they wearing, what's the location. Basically, the list is endless, and any details that you leave out, well then you're letting the AI fill in those gaps. Sometimes that can actually be useful if you're not sure what you want for one particular detail, but making sure that that's a conscious decision means you're less likely to be caught off guard when the model provides its results. Now, let me paste in the prompt that I used and let's take a little look. A photoreal fashion editorial portrait of a confident person with the same appearance as the reference image provided, sitting gracefully on a faintly glowing crescent moon that hangs from 2 strings, surrounded by soft blue pastel clouds. Faintly glowing warm stars also hang in the scene surrounding the person. They wear an elegant yet dramatic high fashion dress with bold angles and layers. The dress's dark blue color complements the hues of the scene. Now, it goes on talking about how she is positioned, the background of the scene, the lighting, textures, and the overall style of the image. Feel free to pause the video if you want to have a full read. But just to caveat, your prompt doesn't have to be this long. You can get great results from just a paragraph or 2, but as this is essentially our foundational image, I personally like to be as detailed as possible. I've made sure to ask for 3 variations just so I have options to pick from, and here's what it came up with. I actually think these all look great, but I'm going to be going with this one. I love the color palette and the texture of the clouds, especially with how they add depth to the image by interacting with the hanging moon. Obviously, if I wasn't fully satisfied, I could always generate more images or tweak the prompt a little bit. Next, I want to show you how I can use this image to generate further images for the scene. In our storyboard, we have a close-up shot of her legs as she descends towards the ground and steps off the moon. Instead of creating a whole new prompt, I simply used the establishing shot that we just used and gave Nano Banana the following prompt. This is the first image from a high-budget luxury perfume ad. The model sits on a moon which will descend to the ground. I would like you to create the second image for the ad. The second image is an extreme close-up of the woman's foot as she steps onto the ground. The ground has fluffy clouds scattered around. The ground shares the aesthetic and colors and textures from the background. By telling the model that the 2 shots are part of the same scene, it helps communicate that I want the style of the image to be consistent between the 2. The new image is pretty close, but I would like it to be slightly zoomed in. Now, this is one of the hiccups with Nano Banana. Often, if you give it an image and you tell it to zoom in, it often just chucks out the same image. Some of my personal hacks include using the phrase extreme zoom. For some reason, it loves the word extreme. It often won't appear to be super close up, but it will at least zoom in compared to the original. Another solution is to ask it to create multiple versions with various degrees of zoom. That normally tricks it into creating different results. And that whole process was also how I got this close-up of her hand on the moon for the 3rd shot. Sometimes you can't reuse an image you've already made because now you want a completely different composition, such as this over-the-shoulder shot. For this one, I went back and uploaded the reference image of our model before largely copying the original prompt, but with a few tweaks about the camera angle and how she was positioned. This made sure a lot of it was very consistent. Then once that was generated, I could use that image as a reference image to generate another shot where the star she was holding was swapped out for the perfume bottle. Basically, what I'm trying to demonstrate here is how starting from one really strong prompt can often lead to a chain reaction for everything else. And the more you can retain the wording of the prompts and reuse images that you've generated, the more you'll be able to keep things consistent throughout the ad. And don't get me wrong, a lot of the time the model is going to spit out something completely wrong, or it will add strange, weird details. Like for this close-up, suddenly her dress is completely covered in the middle. Obviously, with a follow-up prompt, we're able to get that fixed. But overall, expect this whole process to be a lot of trial and error until you're happy with the results. Now that we have a collection of images, or starting frames as I like to think of them, it's time to turn them into videos. Google's VO 3.1 is our video model of choice for today, and to get the most out of it, it's time to jump into VEED. Now, VEED is not only a super intuitive online video editor, but it also has all the AI models that you could want built into the editor. In fact, I'm going to hop straight into the edit project for the ad, and ignore the timeline for now. We're going to go into how I edited that all together in a bit. But first, I wanted to show you how you can generate AI videos right here in VEED. So by going to the video tab, you can click generate and it will open up this page, which has a whole ton of image and video models, including of course VO 3.1. And there are two options here, VO 3.1 and VO 3.1 fast. While they can both output at 1080p, VO 3.1 creates the most polished generations, while VO 3.1 fast will sacrifice some of the quality to be faster and cheaper. And I'll get more into the specifics of the costs at the end of the video. Now, some people swear there's not much difference at all quality-wise, others say the difference is huge. For me, personally, I kind of think it depends on the style of content that you're making. For this ad, I was really pleasantly surprised with just how good the VO 3.1 fast generations looked. And so, in the interest of keeping the costs down, the majority of the shots in this ad were actually made with VO 3.1 fast. Right, so let's actually make some videos. We'll of course upload our starting frame that we made earlier, and once again, it's time to write a text prompt. And you know that advice that I gave for the image prompt earlier? Well, ignore that for video. I actually find you get the best results with just 1 or 2 paragraphs. And I think that's just because when it comes to video, there's just so many more variables. Now, technically, because it's a shorter prompt, that does mean you have a little less control when it comes to the video outputs, but that's why we make our starting images as strong as possible, and it's also why we'll often generate the same shot multiple times until we're fully happy with the results. So let's look at the prompt for our establishing shot. Hyper-realistic, high-budget luxury perfume ad. Wide establishing shot, the camera slowly and gently zooms into the model who sat elegantly on a crescent moon. You'll notice that I've not really described the visuals of the scene as much, and that's because the reference image is already providing a lot of that information. I also like including the context of the shot, in this case, a hyper-realistic, high-budget luxury perfume ad. And that's because the context has so much inherent information of how I want it to look. In fact, for reference, I did the same prompt but said it was for an action movie, and let's look at the results. Notice how the model's head movement and facial expressions are just so much more intense. It also loses the wind gently blowing through her dress. I didn't describe either of those details, but there's small subtleties and cliches that I found in those styles of content. Now, these generations last for about 8 seconds, but for my ad, a lot of the shots aren't going to last more than 2 or 3 seconds. So I'm not going to stress if the whole generation isn't perfect. As long as I have a few seconds that look fantastic, well, I can make that work. And I won't lie, sometimes the video model just won't play ball. In my original storyboard, I had a shot where she kisses the bottle, and look what the model did instead. No, stop! Oh god. Yep, she insisted on taking a swig. I did try another generation with the same prompt, and yep, god damn it, same result. Apparently, it does taste quite nice though, according to her. Either way, this was an example of rewording the prompt again and again until you finally get the result you want, which, ironically, didn't make the final cut. One thing to note is that VO 3.1 generations do often come with audio, and while they often sound great, sometimes it will add music or different sound effects or even a voiceover. That's the downside of saying it's a perfume ad in the prompt. And that means it's super hard to have consistent flowing audio between all of the shots. So I generated everything with the intention of muting all of the video clips. And then I'd do all the music and sound design using VEED stock library afterwards. Now, a couple of the clips actually included a really nice sound effect, such as this bassy sound as she descended through the cloud. So I mixed that quietly into the final cut. Once I had all of my clips, it was a simple process of clicking on the clip in my asset library, which would then drop them down into the timeline. I then found the exact part I wanted and lined them up all next to each other, one by one, adjusting as I went. As I mentioned, I muted most of the clips, so now we need to add some audio. You can find VEED's library of music by clicking on the audio tab and scrolling down to stock music. Click see all and you can search by mood for what you need. I found the track from the ad by looking under ambient. Next, I wanted to add some sound design to really bring it to life. First, as she suspended up with the clouds, I added some whirling wind sounds that play throughout the entire ad, turning them way down so it sits nicely in the background. I added some sparkly chime sounds when the star magically transforms into the bottle, and this one is super subtle, but I think it does a lot. But you notice that there's a quiet footstep when she dismounts from the moon. I also thought it'd be nice to add an elegant voiceover to really sell the ad. At the top of the audio tab, there's the AI voice button. You can click that and you can enter your script and pick from a huge range of voices. I found this voice, Faith, which worked perfect for the ad. I also made sure to add an ellipsis after every line, just to make sure there was pauses between them. This meant that I could chop up the generated audio clips and place them together exactly where I needed in the project. A cool feature here as well is that you can generate the same line with the same voice multiple times, and each generation will actually sound different. So that means you can regenerate certain lines if they don't quite sound right for your project. Finally, I'm going to add text at the end. Click the text tab and there's a huge choice of fonts. Type in whatever you want and it's super easy to resize and move it around the scene. For the text in my video, I lined them up so they appeared one by one, and then I added this nice fade in animation. And with that, our fashion ad is done. Let's take a look at the final product.
They say I have my head in the clouds. And they're right. I walk among the stars. I glide with the clouds. I dance in the moonlight. No one will dim my shine. Lumiere by VEED.
Now, I don't know about you, but I was super happy with how this turned out. And to finish off, let's talk about the logistics of making this ad. Overall, this 30-second ad took me around 6-7 hours total to make. Obviously, that will vary based on the amount of shots you need and how often the models play ball first time round. I also used around 35,000 credits in VEED for the VO 3.1 generations, which comes to around 20 quid. And if you compare those figures to how much a traditional shoot of this caliber would cost, you know, a whole creative team, days of shooting, well, you can see that the difference is astronomical. Make sure to comment down below if you have any questions and let us know if you'd like more of these longer guides. Make sure to subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching.